Hello, my name is Dr. Ruthie. I am lucky enough to be a professional sexuality educator and a relationship coach. My blog and site is over at exploringintimacy.com, but thanks to the fantastic folks at funwares.com, I'm here answering your questions on sex and relationships. If you want to send your question over to me, you can email it to AskDrRuthie at funwares.com, AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. And yeah, I'm coming to you from my childhood home here with my union ceremony bouquet in the background and my purple walls, which my living room is the same color, so I have not grown up in that way at all. But it's so wonderful to be here and to join you with your questions. This one came from a recent workshop that I did. I did a Fantasies for the Shy workshop at an event, and people had so many good questions, and I wanted to keep this one and bring it back for you guys. So the question was, what if my partner is too shy to share his or her fantasies with me? How can I help to nurture that? And this just made me so happy that folks were coming to this workshop out of this care and love for the nurturance of their partner and wanting to find wonderful ways to be a team together and spicing up their love life. It wasn't a frustrated or angry move. It was an I care about this person and I want to, do the right thing to help us grow together instead of getting pushy or cranky or whatever it is we do when we're frustrated because our partner doesn't like the same things we do or want to do the same things we do. So there's a couple of different things to think about with this, and then I'll give you some tips and ideas for handling it. The first is to recognize that, I would say in our culture, but I've yet to meet a culture that is in this way. Perhaps there is this utopian place, and I would love to come hang out there for a while. Generally speaking, we have a love-hate relationship with fantasies. With our fantasies and especially our sexual fantasies. We're all fine with fantasizing about being rich with each other, but when it comes to fantasizing about the, fabulous sex workers that we would employ if only we had the money and all the things we would do with them, we get so much more shy about it, so much more judgmental about ourselves and each other when it crosses that line into the sexual arena. So we have a love-hate relationship with fantasies, and why might this be? Well, lots of reasons. One of them is that at a certain point in time, we just stop giving ourselves permission to play and imagine, especially in that area. And being aware that you've stopped giving yourself permission can be a very important step towards re-giving yourself that permission and figuring it out again. Fantasies, what does it mean about myself? What does it mean about you, my partner? What does it mean about us and our relationship or relationships? What does it mean with these fantasies? Some of the top fantasies that people have, they don't want to live out in their relationship. And they're afraid that it makes them some kind of bad or sick person, or that it's in complete conflict with their own identity. If someone's very, very strong-natured and they like being in charge and they like to feel control over their lives and they have a fantasy about someone else taking advantage of them sexually, of course, in all the ways they really want and giving them all the pleasure they want to have, and that partner looks and smells a certain way and whatnot. So we might call it a rape fantasy, but it's not the same thing at all. What does that mean to my personal identity then as a strong woman, if this is something I think about, or as a strong man, if this is something I think about? What if I think about genders that I don't really want to have sex with? What does that mean? Does it make me gay? Does it make me straight? What is going on with this? So there's a lot of identity issues that have to do with fantasies too. And so I ask you to remind yourself that, or help your partner to be reminded that this doesn't change who you are. This is inside you all along, and you still are who you are. Our fantasies are a time for us to play. And, just like dreams, we don't necessarily know how that's going to come out in our minds in the form of a fantasy. And that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't change who you are. You have my full permission. It's all good. So supporting your partner through that process can be wonderful, and very intimate and bring you both closer. Fantasies don't obligate us to do those things. That's another important part to remember, especially if it's something that we really shouldn't or couldn't be doing. We just don't want to do. Right? Fantasies about 12 different partners. Oh my goodness, a choreography nightmare. And also lots of other possible problems as well. But it can be really hot to be imagining or talking about those things, right? And to share that fantasy together. It doesn't obligate you to do it. It doesn't mean that you necessarily want to do it. Some things are better left in our minds, and some things are better left undone but shared verbally. Also, there can be the concern of mismatched fantasies. I don't want to share mine because I know that they're not the same as yours, or I found yours distressing. I think you might find mine distressing. I don't want to hear yours again. Or I know that I like something you don't like, you want me to be something that I'm not, or we've always been this way as a couple and this fantasy is different. So mismatched fantasies can be a concern. And again, there's no obligation here. It doesn't change who you are. This is a loving, intimate sort of topic to talk about and may help bring you closer. And if not, then you have bigger issues to attend to. A lot of people are just unsure of what their fantasies are. They don't really take the time to develop something beyond, that kind of visualization in their head when they're fantasizing. And that's a technical term, the visualization. Or they don't even think about that. They have trouble being in the moment, or they believe they should only be concentrating on what's happening, or they only want to concentrate on what's happening. And so giving yourself permission to play with those fantasies, to go back to a time when you did fantasize, or, contact somebody like me. I would love to help you with your fantasies and help you bring those to fruition. Those are all options as well. What do we do once we've figured out what's going on here? Well, just figuring it out, could be any of these reasons or something else entirely, or parts of lots of things, is a big step in the right direction, because oftentimes with fantasies, we just shun it from the mind if we're having problems especially, and we don't stop to really examine what's going on back there, or to give ourselves permission to have fun with that again. So that's a big first step. Understanding what it is can help you bring things into balance and bring healing and conversation into your relationship as well. But you also need to surround yourself with sensuality. The mind fantasizes and gives itself permission for fantasy so much more when we're nurturing where it came from, our sensual, erotic selves. Doing little silly things like feeding each other fruit salad with your fingertips and not being afraid of getting messy, not getting afraid of being too close, of doing something silly together. This brings us into an erotically playful part of our mind, these little games and things like that. And they're very low obligation. Try to get the fruit in the mouth if you want to. That's about your only obligation there, and paper towels when you're done. We don't have the pressure of thinking, where does this have to lead? Where do I want it to lead? No, I'm just enjoying this time right now for what it is, the sensuality of it. Maybe I'm describing the fruit. I'm enjoying the sensations and feelings, just the feeling of silliness even. So surrounding yourself with sensuality and sensual opportunities, going to, art galleries that have things that stimulate your senses, live music, whatever the case may be. Another tip to you is to look to the masters. Find yourself some erotic videos that fit your taste and sensibilities, whatever they may be. No judgment here, whether you're kind of prissy or kind of prudy or kind of downright crazy. There is some porn out there for you. Whether it's in written form or video form or musical form or you name it, audiobooks, whatever, performance art form. Look to those and get some inspiration. And that also includes non-pornographic things like your favorite romance movies and those scenes that you think about or want to rewind, or that make you tear up or make you snuggle or make you hot. And looking back to those things and thinking, what are the key points that really get me right there, and what can I do in my mind to work with those fantasies? And it can be a lot easier to talk about fantasies that have already been presented because the ice has been broken. So that, ask your partner how comfortable they are and let them take the lead with that, but really encourage that as well. Last one is to just give your partner permission to take their time with it as well. When we feel forced up, we get blocked up. So letting your partner know that you are patient, but see this as a wonderful way for the two of you to be a team together and to enjoy exploring together and to make each other happy, to make them happy, especially the person who's shy. And that this is an exciting process and you're looking forward to the long haul with them. So again, not pushing them forward. I'm Dr. Ruthie. I hope that this helps all of you who have a shy person in your relationship about fantasies, and I will see you with the next video.